What's going on, guys? Cultimush back at it with Steam Weekly. Last week we had Metal Gear Solid 5 and Mad Max, so a lot of people are still hungover from those games. This week we don't have a lot, some cool indie games. A big MOBA is actually coming out on Steam, so let's get right into this. First game I want to take a look at is actually Smite is coming to Steam. Smite is a game that I've played a few times, and I actually really enjoyed it. I didn't get as much into it as I did with League of Legends, but to me I played Smite a lot more casually and I enjoyed it. I actually did drop the $30 and got like every champion or whatever, and I really enjoyed the game. I hope with the game coming out on Steam, some of you guys will check it out, and I know some of you guys just like having all your games on one service, so now you can have Smite on Steam. That's pretty cool. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys already know what Smite is. It's a third-person MOBA, plays similarly to games like League of Legends and Dota, and it's a fun game. If you're tired of League of Legends or Dota, but you want something similar, check out Smite. It's different enough from games like League of Legends and Dota to warrant your attention. Next, we have Otherland. This is an MMO coming out on Steam, and MMOs on Steam, they're always very hit or miss, and most of the times they're missed. But looking at the trailers for this game looks really cool. I don't see anybody talking about it, so I thought, hey, let's showcase this game on Steam Weekly. It's coming out on early access on September 10th, and it has a really cool sci-fi setting. Check it out. Really, I never even heard about this game until I looked at the Steam upcoming games, so I'm pretty interested in Otherland. It's just that a lot of these free-to-play games that come out on Steam, they never really turn out well, but hopefully Otherland can be one of the few that's pretty decent. Next game we have on the list is Impulse Revolution. This is an indie game, a casual racing game that I thought I'd put on the list just because it looks a little bit different. It's a physics-based racing game, and what the crazy thing is, it's a PC game with local multiplayer. Yeah, I figured that was pretty much dead at this point. There are a few games that have local multiplayer, like I think Trine has local multiplayer, so Impulse Revolution also has local multiplayer, and this looks like a pretty cool physics-based racing game. It looks really interesting, very different, and these are the type of games I'd like to look out for on Steam. There's a lot of indie garbage that comes out, but Impulse Revolution might actually be one interesting game. It depends on what kind of price it comes out at. I don't think this game should be any more than $5, but it looks pretty interesting nonetheless. And it takes place in this neon cyber world. It looks really cool. I'm interested in it. It looks like it could be one of those indie games that I actually get into. It reminds me a lot of Super Hexagon, which I got really into. It'd be embarrassing to say how many hours I put into Super Hexagon. The next game is a game that I think looks really cool, and that's Master Spy. This is a stealth-based platformer that reminds me a lot of Super Nintendo games and NES games. It's got that pixel art style like Hotline Miami, and it just looks really interesting. This is the kind of game that comes out on Steam, and it could either be really good and a lot of people take notice to it, or it could just be mediocre and it falls under the wayside. Obviously, I'm hoping for the former with Master Spy. Master Spy releases on September 8th, and I think this looks really cool. If you guys are a fan of retro games, I think you'll really enjoy Master Spy, and I think this game does have some potential to be one of those standout games from the pack of indie games that comes out every week on Steam. The last game I want to take a look at is Not Reawakening. This game has a very similar art style to Limbo, which is one of my favorite indie games of all time, and this is another game that looks very interesting. Kind of surprised. This week there's a lot of interesting indie games coming out with this, Master Spy, and Impulse Revolution. So these games, you never really can tell anything about them because the developers usually have no track record, but Not Reawakening looks really freaking interesting. And the mascot and main character Not looks really cool too, so this is a game I'm really interested in. Again, it's hard to get super excited about these games because the developers, you don't really have anything to fall back on. You don't know what their track record is, but Not Reawakening looks pretty cool. Has almost a comic book kind of a look to it. It looks really interesting, and this is a game that I'll definitely keep my eyes on. I think a couple indie games, I don't think a lot of people are gonna buy them right off the bat, but I do think these are some of the games that you could put in something like a Humble Bundle, and I think a lot of people would get excited about that. So that's gonna wrap up this Steam Weekly. Kind of a lighter week, but a lot of cool indie games coming out. We got Smite coming out, we got Outerland, which looks pretty interesting. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I know a lot of you guys have never heard of any of these games, except for Smite. I'm pretty sure most of you guys know what Smite is. But you know, sometimes indie games are really good, and this week I think we got a couple ones that have a lot of potential. So check them out, at least add them to your wish list, maybe pick them up on a sale. And yeah, that's gonna wrap up this video, guys. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.